Hey YouTube, West Texas Prepper. I want to bring you a video today. These are fire starter helpers. I don't know what else to call them. They're made with dryer lint, paraffin wax that you can find at probably any store. This will be next to your canning goods. An old, used cardboard egg crate. This happens to be a 18-holer. We go through quite a few eggs when we do eggs, and I'll bring a video on how I made these and hope you enjoy. Thanks a lot. Hey YouTube, West Texas Prepper. I'm going to bring you a video on making some fire starters. I had some providence sort of come together one day. We just got through making breakfast at the West Texas Prepper compound, and we can, with our kids and our family, we go through some eggs. And so we had a cardboard egg carton left over, and also I had cleaned out the dryer lint filter. And before I get anybody commenting, yes, we did let it go a little bit before we got to it. But I'm going to make some fire starters, as you've seen in a previous video, and I'll put a link down below. The kids over the winter time dug a fire pit, put some bricks around it, real nice, and they're looking forward to using that this summer. And one of the things that I wanted them to practice on was using fire starters. You know, flint, magnesium rods, ferro rods, all those types of things. And I want them to have real good success getting something started when they go out to practice. And I've already shown them a couple times just using this dryer lint, how quickly this stuff catches just with a ferro rod shooting sparks into it. And I hadn't done it since I was in the Boy Scouts, and that's been a few years ago. I'd probably say 30 years ago when I was in the Boy Scouts. And you know, we had some people that made them, and I just haven't made any. I've always practiced using ferro rods. I've always carried matches, but I've always carried a ferro rod, magnesium fire starter, and have always been able to get fire going that way. I believe in having multiple options, but I've always been very lucky in just the things that I've done. Matches or a lighter have always worked for me, but I like to have some backups, and so I want to do this to teach my kids some backup. So what I've done so far is I've cut these into strips, and I'm not done yet. I want to get started on the video, and I'll go in, just use some good heavy-duty scissors here, and I'll cut these into strips, and then I'll get these. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set them in sideways like this. Once I get these cut into some squares, and I'm going to set them in sideways in here. That way when I'm done, you'll be able to, I'm not going to fill them all the way up with wax. Other thing you'll need for this is just some good paraffin wax, and I'll show you how we melt that down here in just a minute. So what I'm going to do is, once I get these strips cut, I'll come back and show you, once I get these cut up to fit in here, how I'm going to fluff those out. Alright, stand by, we'll be right back. Alright YouTube, West Texas Prepper. As you can see, I've got my paraffin wax in this one right here. This is a pot of boiling water. You can see I've got a pretty good boil going. I've turned it down a little bit. It doesn't take very long for this to melt. This has been going about 2 or 3 minutes. Once it gets up to boil, this melts pretty quickly. You don't want to do this in a microwave. Paraffin wax is flammable, and so you have to be very careful. I'm actually using a pot from my camper. I have cleaned everything out. I'm doing some dishes, trying to get the camper up and going, so I found some cookware in there. I didn't want to use the wife's stuff just because I didn't want to get in trouble with the wife. So I'm using my stuff here, so there's not a problem. I've just put one block of paraffin in there. I don't know how this is going to go. Like I said, I have personally never made these, and so this is going to be a first time for me. I've seen some other videos on YouTube, and they don't look that hard. But I wanted to make some myself for the kids to use for practicing their fire starting, so they'll have some success when they get started. They'll have something that'll catch and burn, and that's why I use the paraffin wax, because once that tinder, the lint catches, that paraffin will also catch and give them a good burn, as well. So I've got this melted. I'm going to go back out and cut some squares, and then we'll get pouring here in just a minute. Okay, we're back. Having not done this before and seeing how some other people have done it online, I'm going to try a couple of different things here. First, what I'm going to do is down at this end, I don't know how this cardboard is going to soak things up, but here's what I'm going to try to do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put these in here standing up, and I'm going to leave them a little high. Once you get these poured, what you'll come in and do is cut them apart, tear them apart, or do something like that. I'm going to leave, and as you can see, those are going to be standing up a little bit. My thought process is I'm going to see how it is when I pour it in. My thought process is here, probably turn them like this, make it a little easier to pour, is that once I get the wax and the wax is set in here, you can come in here and fluff these out a little bit to give you a better chance to catch a spark first couple of times. So that's what I'm going to do down here on this end. Down here on this end, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pour the wax in first, and once I get the wax poured in, then I'll go in and set these in like that in the wax. I just don't know how much the wax is going to soak up into this cloth. Another thing I do is I'll keep all this, and I'll put it in a Ziploc bag, because this is good to put in a bug out bag, a little kit. You know, you can put quite a bit of this stuff in a film canister. Those of you who don't know what a film canister is, that's how you used to take pictures years ago. You can shove one of those in a pill bottle film canister and keep it waterproof, and you'll have some good fire tinder there to make sure you can get something going. It'll be bomb proof when you get ready to go. So I'm going to try a different couple of ways here. My wax is ready. I'm about to go get it. I'm not going to be able to film and pour at the same time, but I'll come back, and once I get them in here, and I'll show you what we've got and let you know my thoughts on it. Alright YouTube, I've made my initial pour with my first block of wax. Excuse me. That little pan only holds about a block. What happens when you buy this, the Gulf wax, is it comes in 4 blocks. These are, let's see, about 3/4 of an inch by a little over 4 long by a little over 2 wide. So you get 4 of those in there, and that little pan that I was using only holds 1 of those. So I just broke up another one and put in there. But let me show you what I got. These right here, these are the ones I stuck the material in first and poured on top of it. You know, the egg cartons on some areas, they're a little shallow, so I've got to watch that. As you can see here, I need to find something with a spout on it. I got wax all over my workbench. You know, it's a nice thing, it dried quick, and was able to scrape it up. You know, it's a workbench, so not a big deal. But you can see this one right here, it really soaked up the wax. It's still wet. It's been probably 5 minutes or so, so it's going to take a while to set up. But this one really soaked it up. It fell over as I was pouring, and I sort of poured on top, and that's what caused my spill. This one did pretty good. It's still dry on top. Didn't get a lot of wax in the bottom, so I'm probably going to have to go back and pour some more. Same thing happened here. This one fell over as I was pouring. Had some run in another cup. These, this one, I stuck it in there, and man, it soaked it up. These two are still a little dry on top, which is what I'm looking for. That way, you know, you can fluff them out and let it catch that spark. I need to get some more wax in these. So I'm gonna have to find or just see what I can do with my wax. I'll probably use these 6 deeper ones here. I have 4, 8, 9, 10 of these left, so I'll probably be able to do something here. Like I said, this is for the kids to mess with, you know, as they're learning their fire building skills. So I'm not too concerned. I like it. It's messy. If I had something that I could melt the wax in with a pour spout on it, then I think it would work well. Next time I'm in Walmart, thrift store or something like that, I'll see if I can find an old small syrup container or something that has a spout on it that I'd be able to melt some wax in and pour out of that a little more effectively, so I'm not having stuff running all over my bench. But I'm pretty pleased so far. I'll do a few more and edit it into this and show you later. Thanks a lot. All right, YouTube, got them all finished, and I wound up going through three blocks of wax. I've got some that I could probably put some more in, but here's a problem I just discovered. As you can see over here, had a little bit of a spillage when I first started pouring, so I got that worked out. Got all these done. They're still a little warm, but if you look underneath here, that was my fault there. I don't know if you can, how well you can see that. They tend to leak a little bit on the bottom. I guess paraffin goes through the cardboard and it leaks. So if you are going to do these, do it someplace that you don't mind getting a little dirty. Of course, I can just come in here with a scraper. Sorry, I'm trying to do two things here. And we can clean that up, and not a big deal. A little sandpaper will scrape that up a little bit better. But I'm pleased, and so we'll cut these apart. They've soaked up quite a bit. These are pretty stiff. Some have fallen over. Down here at this end, these are the only three that I put in there first. All the rest of them, back up here, all these in here, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 of these, I poured the wax in first and then sat them in. Some tipped over. What I started doing down here at the bottom, I would fluff out the bottom a little bit, make them a little wider before I sat them in. That tended to help. But they have all soaked up the wax, some a little bit more than others. So I'm pretty pleased. Now what I'll do here is I'll go in and cut these individual things apart, and then we'll see how they do as a fire starter. I think they're going to do just fine, you know, as long as I can go in here and you can get some fluff. You know, I think you'll be able to catch some spark on these and do what you need. We'll just have to wait and see. But that's the finished product. So I have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18 of these. The price, only thing I had was right at about $4.25, I think. I don't have my receipt, but I just found this at a local grocery store. I could probably find it someplace a little bit cheaper. But you know, you're looking $4 a box for the wax, so that's not a bad deal. Dryer lint, it's all free. This is just out of one clean out. Like I said, we hadn't cleaned it out in a while. We had both forgot. But I'll keep all this. Egg carton was free. Just had to go out and spend $4 on a little wax to get that going. So that'll show you what you can do. And like I always say, you do what you can with what you have, where you're at. I'll get these cut up, probably put them in a Ziploc bag, just because the wax is on the bottom, protect them a little bit. And next time we're out by the campfire and we get something, I'll pull one of these out. We'll give it a shot. Or once these set up a little bit more, these are still a little wet, I might even try to video one just here in the garage after I get them cut apart, and we'll see how they do. I'm up late tonight doing a little work around the house, doing some laundry, doing some cleaning up, and so I've been sort of working on this while I'm doing the other things. But that is the finished product. I hope you enjoy. Thanks a lot, YouTube, for watching. Appreciate everybody that's watching my videos for me. Do what you can with what you have, where you're at.